So AJ, how many projects, mission trips have you been on?
I've been to Kenya with you 5 times, and I've been to Mexico with you four, so 9 total trips.
Okay. And um, what would be the funniest thing that happened in Mexico?
Hmm. Uh, when we were doing the house building, I really enjoyed that. I thought that was a lot of fun. Getting to work with the guys, and then we'd stop by the gas station and feel like real workers, and having our little lunch on the side of the road, getting a sandwich and a manzana lift soda. I have really fond memories of doing that. And so I think that's about as fun as it gets. I mean, that's just guy activity. You're out there hammering nails and sawing things, and I really enjoyed that.
And we got the houses done very quickly.
Absurdly quickly. I didn't believe it the whole time that we were going to build one in a week, and we
Yeah,
always did.
almost 3.5 days.
It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So in Kenya, you got to see the battle of hunger, starvation, and the need for clean or pure water. Um, what has that done? How's that impacted your life?
Yeah, I definitely think that the first time I went over to Kenya with you, it was a very eye-opening experience for me. I think it changed a lot in terms of the way you view the world. When you grow up the way I grew up, living in the US with access to food and water and all those things are just assumed, like you just assume they're provided for you, and seeing people go without and seeing people have to struggle to meet some of those basic needs, it's really humbling, and it really shows you how much work there really is to do in the world. And it's hard to come back here, I think, and be super comfortable with the life, and it makes you take a look at all kind of different things, and it really convicted me to try and first of all, I would say to do more and to try and help more people in other ways I can. But I also think it was very motivating for me in terms of trying to do all I can with the resources I have. It feels disrespectful to have access to every basic need you could ever have, and to kind of squander that, and to not glorify God through the work ethic that you have. And so I think that was another eye opening aspect of it for me as well.
So we've spent a lot of years together now.
A lot of years together.
Uh, um, and your wonderful wife Kylie is coming to your life, and y'all partner together. Um, as you look at Joy Potter Missions, JPM as we call it, um, and the investment we're making and what we're trying to do to be conscious of what we do and why we do what we do. Um, what's some things that I don't know if anything that sticks out to you that this this is a good thing because y'all have kept these values. Anything? I don't,
um
and we haven't rehearsed this, but I'm just saying,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
No, I think that for me, the thing that I always come back to, it was the taglines of one of the Kenya trips. I don't remember which year, but the tagline was sort of, the best way to show people our love for Jesus is by serving others. And I come back to that all the time. I remember that all the time, and I try and be really conscious of that, just in the daily interactions, but also in the big interactions. How can I serve? How can I help? How can I be a light for someone? Because you don't know what other people are going through, and you don't know how a little gesture here or a little comment there could really make a difference in someone's life. So I think about that pretty constantly. That's something I think that's stuck, and I think that learning how to show people the love of Jesus through service is something that um, you just can't really compete with.
yes. And we always say, the world's going to believe in what we do, not just what we say.
Yeah.
And that's just what I think is so important. And and we love your representation out there, and not only you and your wife Kylie, but also your parents, your sister, and Susanna and Chris, and now their two babies, and as you all grow and impact what you all are doing, just I think is a beautiful thing. But it's not easy. You doing your job, is it?
No, not at all.
So there are challenges and things that are just people have no clue the pressure and what's happening for an NFL player.
There's a lot going on, and dealing with uh, just the distractions and dealing with the I think the emotional highs and lows of the season can be really challenging. Having to go through all of that, and a lot gets asked of you when you're in this position. And so, figuring out how to best spend my time, best spend my resources, I think is a huge challenge. But I think all those challenges get a little bit easier when you have the right centerpiece in your life. And I think that knowing who I am really helped me as I transitioned into the NFL, and I think it'll help me as I transition out, because my identity is not a football player. It's something I do, and it's never going to be who I am. It's just a job title, and so I think that's super important.
One thing I'll never forget is you were working as an intern for us in FCA, and Shane Williamson, the president of FCA, amazing guy, told me to let you have the freedom and see what you would do with that. Your sister Susanna is now in a concussion from playing soccer, and her world stopped in soccer. And I remember you talking about working and putting your hours in, but you wanted to take and work longer day, that you could take her out every day, and you played golf with her and you taught her golf. And I remember going uh, to the two state championships that she was at, and walking with her mom and dad, your mom and dad, and watching this gal play this unbelievable state championship and things that you've done. But that took time, and that took love, but it cost you. And you still had to put in your hours for FCA. And have you ever thought back on that? Maybe you just never thought about, but I'll never forget that. I thought how great a love is when someone will lay down their life for another, and you did that for your sister. And I look at her today and I'm going, okay, if you had done that, who knows how she'd have felt about it herself, because she was done. Mm-hmm. The doctors weren't going to let her do anything else. And I remember listening to you as a family talk. Well, what other options? What else can we do? And you say to me, hey, can I go and play golf during the day, and I'll get my work done later in the evening? And I said yes.
Yeah, because she wouldn't have had her license yet, so I was having to drive her to the golf course and do that whole thing, right? Because that would have been her sophomore year, would have been what should have been my freshman year of college. So yeah, she didn't have her license, so I was trying to do whatever I could as a brother to. But that's good. I never really made that connection. I guess I deserve partial credit for her state championship.
You should get part of that ring.
If you think about it wrong, I actually maybe she should do a timeshare with the ring or something. But no, it was really cool to see what she did with that, and I think that was a huge lesson on when one door closes, another door opens. Soccer was all she ever wanted to do. That was her favorite sport. She loved being a goalie, and then the concussions happened, and the doctors kind of were saying maybe it's not the best choice to carry on. And I know that was there was a sad moment to that. There was some mourning in that, and I think that the way that she kind of rebounded from that and turned it into being a state champion in golf was super cool to see. And I think you can learn from your younger siblings. I've been learning from my sister my entire life, even though I'm 3 years older than her. And so that was a cool way to see her kind of live out that lesson.
So did Susie ever beat you?
Oh yeah, always, constantly. After not very long.
Really?
Oh yeah, she's way better golfer than me. Well, maybe not anymore. She doesn't play golf. She's a mother of 2 now. I might get her now.
I never knew that.
Oh yeah.
How about your dad?
I've beaten him one time. I still got the scorecard though. It's on it's on a magnet in my house, on the fridge.
Wow. All right. Well.
Sweet. So and then just I guess just do a sign off saying hey, thank you so much for your time and all that kind of good stuff. And,
okay.
Just maybe just end it with tune in. Make sure you watch AJ play on the Raiders.
Okay.
Plug in. And then stay tuned for more JPM talks or JPM.
Okay. All right. So you've helped us make some investments, and right now we've got clean water for 2 villages with the Maasai, and then a couple others in some countries we can't really say because of the difficulty there they deal with. But we're talking about 2 or 3 thousand people that walk daily instead of 10 to 12 miles in a round trip. They're going 2 to 3 miles, and they're not having to fight the crocodiles or the hippos, the river. But we have a well there, and they're taking those 2 yellow liters and they're filling those up. And I pray someday you might get a chance to come over there. And what you're going to see, AJ, are these paths to the different communities that walk because of their feet and the dripping of the water. Is that they like made roads.
Wow.
And it's just amazing. So I hope someday you'll get a chance. Um, and I appreciate your heart and your love for Jesus. And it's not just a video, but I thank you for partnering and believing in what my calling was to just take young people. And Shane Williamson of FCA said these athletes and let them be a cornerstone. And through that, my goodness, what happened at Woodward Academy for you, and then at North Carolina State, my goodness, and then what happened now as AJ is the punter, number 6, as Kylie would say, fourth and cold, and for the Las Vegas Raiders.
That's right.
And we're excited that possibly she'll be playing for pro team in San Diego. What do they
The
call
Mojo.
the Mojo? So I guess we'll find out. We can add that later and share about and following up with her. But uh, what's your biggest prayer request right now?
I think during the season, my biggest prayer request always is to not let my emotional state and let my the way I treat others and all that kind of stuff be affected by what's going on in football. Whether I play good, whether I play bad, whether we win, whether we lose, I want to be the same person every single day, and I want to love on others, and I want to be filled with that unshakable joy. And sometimes that's really difficult throughout the course of the season. When you play bad, you start to feel like the world's crumbling and you're losing and all that kind of stuff. And when you're playing good, you start to feel like, there's something special about you. And so I think just surviving both of those extremes and just knowing who I am and having my identity rest assured in Christ, I think is the most important thing for me.
Amen. All right. I know you're a professional football player, but it doesn't always mean that. But I've seen this asked the other professional sports guys. What's your favorite sport?
It probably is football.
Is it?
Yeah, it probably is.
Not
football.
basketball?
I mean, basketball is the most fun to play, but I don't watch the NBA as much now as I used to. But yeah, it's probably football. Just because I'm so in it too. I know all the people, the storylines. Like it's just hard not to watch.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fair enough. I wasn't sure if it was golf or basketball or something else. And you do play in some charity softball.
Yeah, not very good, but I was 4 for 4 last year with 4 singles. So that's all it takes. Just get on base.
Okay. All right. Good deal.